This is the Inferno Podcast, the official podcast of UAB Athletics. Blazer fans, this is the place each week to get an inside look into UAB Athletics. This episode is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Welcome into the Inferno Podcast. I'm your host, Landrum Roberts. It's episode 45. Today's podcast being brought to you in part by Legacy Credit Union, the official credit union of UAB Athletics. We're going to talk UAB football today. One of the newest additions, one of many for Trent Dilfer and the Blazers for 2025. He's an state of Alabama product. It's Eli Ennis, linebacker from Ohatchee. We're going to talk to him about not only leading up to the point of arriving here in Birmingham, but big things that he has planned for the Blazers for 2025. That and so much more. It's episode 45. It's the Inferno Podcast. Stay with us.
Trent Dilfer here, head football coach of the UAB Blazers. I want to tell you about my friends at Legacy Credit Union. Legacy began as University Credit Union in 1955 and remains committed to UAB faculty, students, alumni, and fans. Not only do they support the Birmingham community, but they are also proud sponsors of UAB and UAB Athletics. Visit LegacyCreditUnion.com and find out why you should become a member today.
The Inferno Podcast, Blazer fans, we've made it really, really easy for you. There's a lot of different ways that you can consume this podcast each and every week, and we certainly appreciate you doing that. But you're going to appreciate it because we're going to keep you up to date on everything going on within the athletics program, the green and gold. YouTube, it's pretty simple. At Inferno Podcast UAB, like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your family about it, your friends, your neighbors, spread it around the office. This thing is going to catch fire, literally. Appreciate you joining us there on YouTube, but also Instagram. You can find us Inferno_pod on Twitter, or the X if you prefer, at InfernoPod_UAB. On Facebook, that's kind of the OG, right? UAB Athletics. You can find it there on Facebook. And, of course, you can go to UABsports.com. We got links. We got all different ways. There is no excuse for you to miss the Inferno Podcast each and every week.
The if in life, it's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends, if you can keep an eye on your money along the way, if you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, when you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Welcome back into the Inferno Podcast. Landrum Roberts. I am your host. It's time for our Student Athlete of the Week segment, and it comes from the way of football. One of the newest additions to Trent Dilfer and the Blazers, and boy, he is going to be key this year for the Blazer defense. It is transfer linebacker Eli Ennis, one of Alabama's own. Eli, how are you?
I'm doing great.
First of all, let's start for our viewers. Those of you listening, you can't appreciate it, but pull up Eli Ennis. You got a great head of hair.
I do. It's been growing now for probably close to 6 years. Haven't done anything to it.
So those of you who can't see it, think Troy Polamalu. I'm sure people probably throw that out to you a lot.
So like a funny thing is when I got to Nichols, like my first school, a lot of the guys didn't even know my actual name until probably a month or two into the season, because they either called me or Polamalu or Tarzan. It was like my top two. They didn't even know my name.
Either one of those, if you're a guy and you're getting called Polamalu or Tarzan, those are both winners.
Yeah. Either one was okay with me. I was fine with it.
How often do you wash that hair?
I mean, with football, in football season, I would say every day, just because I have to. It'll get dirty, whatever. But out of season, if I'm not doing anything, probably every 2 or 3 days.
Does it get curlier than that? I don't know how it could, but with weather, can it get curlier?
If there's no humidity and it's not hot and I kind of let it dry well, it can.
Have you ever tried to straighten it?
I have.
Your girlfriend, I guarantee you, was like, "Hey, let's straighten it."
It's to like a little bit past the middle of my back. when it straightened.
You have a girlfriend, and she actually came with you from Nichols.
She did.
So she's here. Is she jealous of your hair?
I mean, I'm not going to say she's jealous of it, but when we go out in the public, I'm usually getting a lot of comments on my hair. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, baseball, but especially football, underneath the helmet, and you running around and making a gazillion tackles like you're going to do this year for the Blazers.
Yeah, it works with it.
Looks really good. I said you were one of Alabama's own, Ohatchee High School, where based on your bio, you did everything. You were all-state selection, but also on the offensive side of the ball, you played quarterback.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I was getting recruited and like going into college, a lot of people and like even myself thought that I was going for like some type of running back position, because I would say offense was offense was number one, then defense was my number two. So yeah, I played a lot of offense. Did a lot of things on the offensive side of the ball.
And with your size, you're a football player. They're going to find a space for you. Why naturally were you moved to the defensive side of the ball when you arrived at Nichols?
I think just like my build, and when I did play, I played a little linebacker in high school, and I played a lot of safety. So my thing when I got to college was like, I didn't know I was at safety, but it was still kind of up in the air of where I would play. And then I started to gain weight and kind of moved away from that offensive physique and like started to get bigger. And that's when they moved me to linebacker.
You were an All-American at Nichols. An All-American is All-American, FCS, FBS. You throw in three letters, it doesn't matter. You excelled at a high level where you were. Being at Nichols, not that you never thought that you would, but did you ever envision yourself playing somewhere else?
Well, I mean, after my first year there, I had a really good freshman year. My sophomore year was I wouldn't say I had a bad year, but it wasn't as good as my freshman year. And I was kind of telling myself, because that was the plan. Like, I obviously wanted to play in an FBS school. Like, just that atmosphere was something that appealed to me that I liked. And I was telling myself, I was like, well, if there is a year to do it, it's now. So I think going into my junior year of college, it was a lot of like getting better, prepping, fixing things that I may have messed up on last year or wasn't 100% good at. And once I had my junior year, it opened up my eyes, like this could be a possibility of me going and playing somewhere else. Even though I love Nichols, I did want to play on FBS level.
Yeah, and you said even up to the last moment, as we were talking before we came on the air, that it was still a really, really tough decision for you to leave. Yeah. Explain why.
So, I mean, I'd been there. I left Ohatchee, went to Nichols, and that was like my family for 3 years, if not more. I made so many friends that I would consider my family. I had such a great relationship with all my coaches. And even then, it was still a last-minute thing because after my freshman year, people were like, transfer. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I didn't transfer. After my sophomore year, people transfer. And I was like, I don't want to do it yet. Like, it's kind of hard to leave. And then, like I said, that junior year was just me like mentally prepping myself and actually getting ready to making that decision. But I still have so many connections and friends down there. Like I'll visit throughout the summer. I'll go down and see them.
Was your portal journey, Eli, was it pretty bang from the standpoint of when you entered to prospective schools? UAB was certainly not the only school that was vying for your services. What was that like? Was it stressful?
Oh my gosh, it was super stressful. So it was the first time I was in the portal. I really didn't have too much information on it. And I got in December 22nd. So this is 3 days from Christmas. And the day that I got in, I probably had 2 or 3 offers. And I wasn't even technically in it yet. I was just like had declared that I was getting into it. So, I mean, from the 22nd until the 30th was phone calls, me texting people. My Twitter, like I didn't have a very big Twitter. I kind of never kept up with it. And from the 22nd to the 30th, I went from like 7 followers to like almost 300. So it was super stressful, just like constantly on the phone. I think the only day that I really got off was Christmas Day. that's when it kind of like laid back and I was like able to relax and like kind of be with family. But it picked up the next day. So that was a super stressful and like new experience for me.
Don't give the names of the schools or anything like that. That's not what I'm looking for. But how much interaction had you had with these 2 or 3 offers that you had already received? What were those conversations like leading up to that point? Because it couldn't have been a long period of time.
Like leading up to,
I guess you eventually, them making the offer to you, how much familiarity did you have with those particular programs that made you the early offers?
So the first few, I didn't have a lot. There was one, I'm not going to say the name, but it was super close to home. So that was another that was kind of like tugging on me that I obviously eventually didn't end up going to. But I think the first few I didn't really know much about or like have a lot of knowledge about. But that one school was kind of like where I grew up.
Yeah.
So.
And understandable and not too hard to figure out. So, thus, why UAB?
So I think the reason why UAB is because they were starting over. Like from my knowledge, like a lot of the coaches that were here last year are not here now. And then my first day coming in on my visit felt like was the coach's first day. So I thought that was really cool. And then the coaches here are just spectacular. Like their knowledge, their football knowledge, they've played in the NFL, they've coached. So I think that was really appealing to me. The fact that they've been places where a lot of people want to go. I think that was another big thing to why I chose UAB.
I'm just going to read off some of these honors, and I know you're a humble guy, but for 2024 at Nichols, Buck Buchanan National Defensive Player of the Year finalist, All Southland First Team, All Louisiana Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week. The list goes on and on and on and on. You've got all kinds of accolades. You certainly have the size. You seem like you have a wonderful spirit. And speaking of that, your spirituality, your faith, and we were discussing that. How much did you lean on your faith in making this decision? And I'm sure praying and saying, is this where you want me to be, Lord?
Yeah, I think what it was for me is I kept this mentality even in high school. Like when I make plays, it is because of my faith. Like I just kind of, I don't know, I feel like it helped me. I feel like I made a lot more plays. And then going into my junior year, I had made my mind up like this is something that I want to do if I have the opportunity. So working towards it just every day. Like if it's right for me, it will happen. If it's not, then everything happens for a reason and it's supposed to be like that. So I think once I got into the season and I started to get some traction, I moved positions. I played like a Sam position for the 2 years, and then I played 1 year as Mike, and that was my junior year. So that move, and obviously had coaches that wanted to see me succeed at Nichols. And I honestly think that whole year and then even getting the notoriety that I did was because of that, because I was just every moment that felt like if I had a bad few games or if I didn't start out the way I did, I was like, I would just be praying, just like, is this for me? Come on. Like, what's next? And just kind of at the same time hoping and wishing, but at the same time just letting everything work out.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I think those who do have that are believers and do have that faith, and that's primary part of their life for so many years. It's easy for us as human beings, but especially for me personally, where to say, well, I did this. But when I think back, the more things that I try to control, and I could, number one, you realize you can't control certain things, but also a lot of times I was really bad for me.
Yeah.
So that couldn't have been me. That had to have been someone else, and meaning my God. And I think that's a really cool aspect. As far as that goes, what does that look like? Are you sharing with teammates who have an open ear?
I'll share with anybody that wants to listen. I think that was kind of my thing. Even Coach Dilfer is also big on it, and that kind of helped me through because I don't know if y'all know this, but when I got to UAB, I had a leg injury that I didn't know exactly 100% what it was, and it came out to be a cyst/tumor that was on my femur bone. And I went from this whole portal thing to now, like my football career could be in jeopardy because it was that bad. It got to that point, and I was super tore up about it because I was like, I mean, I had all this going for me, and then 2 weeks later, like I had people telling me that I might not be able to play football ever again, and it was like a part of my life. And that was the big thing with Coach Dilfer because I'll never forget this. I just got my MRI to see exactly what it was, and they still couldn't figure it out because it was super, like how it happened, it was super rare. And I go in to Coach Dilfer's office, and he was kind of saying that same thing. He was asking me about faith and like who my trust was in because I was super tore up. I was like, he was kind of there to comfort me. So I was super tore up about that. And he was kind of there like, if this is what God wants, like this is what will happen for you. He's like, you can't look at it as, oh, why me? Why me? Like, this is for you. This is what, I forget how he worded it. This is what is going to make you you.
Yeah.
Is this how you respond to this injury? And so, yeah.
Puts things in perspective, right?
Yeah.
And we put everything in perspective, and it's certainly not about wins and losses. But here on this podcast, we will, and a lot of UAB fans asking the question, college football fans, because of now the fluidity of the transfer portal and what it means. And a lot of times you're changing roster from year to year. You don't know what to expect. You have new coaches. But based on what you've been able to observe and being a part of UAB's football team, and being with that locker room full of new faces and new guys and new friends, just on the defensive side of the ball, what can you tell us?
I mean, what I'll say is, so when I got there, it was like a whole new team for me because I think I don't know the exact number, but we have 6 linebackers, 4 of them were brand new. So, I mean, coming in, I didn't feel ever like I was like the odd one out or this guy coming in, like, who is this? Because it was kind of like that for everybody. It's like all these new faces, and it was so much easier for me to fit in and be comfortable with asking questions, doing this, doing that, because it's like we're all new. We all have something to prove here, and we're all just working to that end goal. So that was kind of my thing.
Well, and not only those things, but putting yourself familiarizing yourself with different terminology, different things. You're based on what you knew at Nichols, and even throughout your high school career, it's different, especially later in your career. But I feel like, anyways, the other supporting pieces that staff has brought in on that side of the ball. Yeah. You got some legit dudes, dudes that have played meaningful football, and you certainly have and excelled at a high level.
Yeah, I still think now that I'm learning like new things from them guys because a lot of it, like when I came from Nichols over here and I'm like learning the playbook, learning the plays, they're saying certain things and I'm like, what is this? Like I'm a little confused, but then they explain it. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of the same thing that I was doing at Nichols. It's just called something different. And obviously, I'm learning a whole like different scheme and like doing a lot of different things that I did at Nichols. So it's good to have them there, and they know how to teach, know how to coach, and be in that type of atmosphere to be able to learn quickly and the right way.
At your position, how much of adjustment will it be from going? Look, I realize we have Hall of Famers in Canton that played at the FCS level. But how much of a difference from what's been described to you will it be playing every day at the FCS level? And you guys played Power 4 teams.
Yeah.
But how much of a transition will that be for you?
I mean, I think for me, like from my position that I played at Nichols to this one that I'm playing now, I mean, I don't think I'd have a specific like right way to say it, but I will be doing a lot of different things that I did at Nichols. I don't think I'm scared of it because it's an FBS level, because I've played, I mean, our head coach at Nichols, like our first 4 out of conference games were FBS schools. Yeah. Like we played TCU coming off of their national championship. We've played LSU. There's some other ones in there that I want to say some Sunbelt teams and stuff like that. And I mean, going into those games, even then being at Nichols, you kind of look at yourself like inferior, like you're not supposed to be here. And then it's really just about going out there and playing football. Like, I think when we were playing LSU, it's like, don't look at the name on their jersey or what helmets they're wearing or being in Death Valley. It's like, it is just football at the end of the day. I think I kind of carry that same mentality. Like, if I come over and I play comfortable and confident, like I try to do every game, then I can play better than I did at Nichols and excel on this FBS level.
People might debate me this, and I told you I was going to bring it up. You wear number 44.
Yep.
That is the best number ever for a linebacker.
Yep.
It's the best number ever. I remember, I have an affinity for 44. Hank Aaron. I'm a big Braves fan, but Hank Aaron wore 44.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Bosworth, back in the day, wore 44. No, you're older. You remember Brian Bosworth wearing that at Oklahoma. Why 44 for you?
So I'll give you the true story on 44. So I wore 4 in high school. I had it's kind of crazy how it all worked out. So my senior year, one of my good friends on the football team, he probably 5th or 6th game into the season, he had a brain bleed. And it ended his career right there, obviously. And he was able to survive. He actually came down to a UAB to get surgeries and get better. And we would wear like 44 on our helmets for him. We painted it on our field. And then when I get down to Nichols, I was there and they were giving me my number. And I didn't get to pick numbers. Obviously, it was just kind of given to me. And I go in there and it's 44. And like, he was the first person that I texted and let him know. I was kind of unsure about it. I was like, you know what, maybe I play a year, prove myself, and I can change my number to 4, because that was kind of my number all throughout high school. And then after that first year, I was like, I think this number is me. Like, if I think there's any number that I can play in and that fits me the best is 44, because it just fit me so perfect how that. And I kind of, once they gave it to me and I played in it, I contributed it to my friend that was in high school, kind of him. And then my junior year, I kind of got the, I wouldn't say a nickname, but I was just being commented on it, like among the coaches and stuff. It was 44 Bulldog. Yeah. So I was getting that, and I was like, you know what? When I was coming to UAB, I was like, I got to keep 44. That is my number. I can't see myself in any other number than 44.
That's a great number. Can't wait to see you wear it.
Yeah.
We got the lightning round coming up next. More with our new friend, Eli Ennis, here on the Inferno podcast. Welcome back into the Inferno podcast. Landrum Roberts, UAB linebacker, Eli Ennis. It is time for the lightning round. We're just going to spring some questions on you, and you answer them best you can. You ready to go?
Yep.
What's the most challenging aspect to the linebacker position that most people would not know?
I would say the most challenging that I think a lot of linebackers can agree on this is dealing with O-linemen. The fact that you have to deal with O-linemen, but you also have to go out here and guard some of these running backs, tight ends, I think that can be hard, is something to get used to.
Is it safe to say, Eli, that, this is a follow-up, O-linemen hold on every play?
Oh my gosh. I think, O-linemen are bad. I think tight ends are worse.
Tight ends?
Yes. From my experience, tight ends are worse.
Those are guys that really don't want to block. They've always thought of themselves as wide receivers, and don't want to take the time to really develop their craft and the craft of blocking. That's what you're saying.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you got. But I just think it's, I don't know, they're not. O-linemen can use a lot of strength, and then when you're going up against tight ends, you're kind of evenly matched. And I think sometimes they get a little handsy and start to grab.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't let them get inside.
Yeah, you can't let them get close.
I would ask you another follow-up. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
If you could be any animal, Eli, what would you be and why?
Okay, I like this one. I would be a panther.
Panther?
Panther. And the reason I say panther is because the mixture of strength and agility and stealth, those have always been my favorite animal.
And panthers hunt.
Yes.
And as a linebacker, that's basically what you're doing.
Exactly.
You're hunting.
Exactly.
I like that. What futuristic invention do you wish existed right now? Some people might say flying cars.
I would say time machine.
Time machine.
Time machines, yes.
Why?
100%. I think to just be able to go back and visit historical events. Like that would probably be my number one thing that I would do with it. I don't think I'd go back and change anything as far as like,
No,
yeah, but like just to go back and things.
just to witness certain things.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I think that's probably the
If
best.
someone gave me the option, and not for financial gain, if they said you could go to the future or you could go back, I would want to go back and just witness some of those things for myself.
And then you could even go forward.
And some of those things would not be all great things, but it would be, they would.
Something that you get to see, like not every,
I've watched enough documentaries on it. This is going to sound so morbid and sounds awful, but that day in Dallas, where JFK was assassinated, I kind of want to be there.
You
But
could be
I'm also knowing what I know from these documentaries, I'm going to be looking and listening for certain things.
yeah. I think that like I am a big History Channel guy.
Yeah, me too.
So that's the reason I think I would choose that. It's just to go back and be a part of some of these historical events.
That's really good. Okay. We'll hang out. We'll talk History Channel one day.
Okay.
If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One meal, lasagna.
Lasagna?
Yeah, that is my like number one favorite thing. And my mom makes amazing lasagna.
Just great
So,
want
I think
is that what she has every time when you come home?
she tries to. She'll ask me, especially on my birthday or something, I'll have lasagna. She'll be like, what do you want me to make? And I pick lasagna. I think it's just something that I wouldn't get tired of or take me a long time.
When's your birthday?
February 17th.
Okay.
Yep.
So just a few days after Valentine's.
Yep,
And lasagna seems like kind of a Valentine's-y meal.
it is.
Where did you take your girlfriend for Valentine's?
It was a Summit. We went to
okay.
eat at the Summit.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the place now. I'm
That's
not too
okay.
familiar with like a lot of
They
places.
got good places
around
at the Summit.
here. Yeah, but we went there and ate.
Well, that's fun. If you could speak to any sports figure in history, who would you choose?
I think like it could be living or
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, he is like my all-time favorite NFL player. Like in my eyes, he's the best quarterback ever. So if I think I could speak to anyone, it'd be him. 100%.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, in my opinion. I remember growing up watching him, I used to hate him because like it was just like you never want to bet on the guys that are like always win or whatever. And I think it may have been after the Falcons and Patriots Super Bowl or the Eagles that I was like, yeah, you just can't go against it. You can't deny it anymore. So that's when I started like loving Tom Brady.
Do you own a pair or have you ever owned a pair and worn Uggs?
I have not.
Okay.
Have not.
That's a good answer. What's your all-time favorite football moment?
My all-time favorite football moment, like in my career?
It can be in your career. Let's go your personal
Okay,
moment.
my personal moment, I would say my freshman year, we played, it was like Texas A&M Commerce. It was a team in our conference. And it was a close game. It was 10-10 with like maybe a minute 45, maybe a little bit more. And I came in on blitz and kind of ran free and ran the quarterback, like tackled him / ran him out of bounds, and it was a safety in the back of the end zone, and we won the game 12-10.
Yes.
We ended up winning the game. I think that, and this past year we played McNeese, and it was a 19-24 game. There was probably 20-something seconds left, and I was like ratting the quarterback, just kind of like hovering and making sure he didn't get try to run out of the pocket. And he throws it right above my head. And as soon as I turn around, like the receiver's getting like tackled / like held up. And I just ran up and took the ball, like just kind of ripped it out of his hands, and we won the game. And that was homecoming of that year. So I think those two were like in college were my favorite moments.
And they should be really cool moments. What tip would you give someone who's starting out this year as a freshman in college football?
I mean, I would say just accept your role. Don't try to do too much, because I think that's kind of what I did the beginning of my freshman year. I was just kind of like expecting more. And then I felt like when I played comfortable and I just kind of like got over the intense, like, oh, having to do this, having to do that, and got settled in is when I started to actually play. And I feel like that's helped me throughout my whole career. So I would say that and just staying consistent. Like in anything that you do, if it has to do with working out, field stuff, anything, is just stay consistent, because by the time you get to that second or third year, you're going to be where you want to be.
Spoken like our leader. That's consistency to me is one of those traits of being a good leader.
Yeah, I think that's been my
steady Eddie.
My kind of whole thing through high school and then into college was just staying consistent in working or doing whatever.
Hobbies that take up your time outside of football.
Hobbies that take up my time. I would say working out. I love to work out. That is like one of my top hobbies. When I do go back home, we live like on a farm pretty much. My brother has this big, like, he has a bunch of animals and stuff.
What kind of animals?
We
got goats?
Yes. Chickens, goats, ducks. He's been thinking about getting some like emus and llamas and stuff. But those are, I think when I go back home, like those can be an all day thing.
Are you tending the farm? Are you feeding the animals? What are you doing?
So I think it's a little bit of both. Like you have to feed them, and then you also have to clean up sometimes after they can get.
I can imagine
in certain spots, certain things you let them do what they do, but it's a lot of like moving them here to this spot, and then you got to move them over here for these animals to eat. So I think those top two right now would be like taking up a lot of my time.
First concussion I can ever remember, Eli, I was at a cousin's house and they lived on a farm. Mm. And me being from the city, going there, I was just amazed. And there was a calf. And I don't know how old this calf was, but went up and calf had a name. And I'm watching this calf eat. And I am making the mistake of hovering my head right above the calf's head. Something like a horsefly, something comes in, gets the calf. Calf immediately raises his head to get.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
I've never had
helmet to helmet, seeing stars, tasting metal in my mouth. Confirmed concussion, I think. My mom would argue because she said I had one every birthday party I ever went to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
I've never had any injuries like that with the animals.
That doesn't surprise me. That sounds like something that would only happen in Landrum. Who is someone you model your on-the-field approach after?
On the field?
Yeah. Is there a player?
I wouldn't say there was any specific player, but my brother. He kind of got me into football, and like when I was in 4th grade, I would go over to my brother's house and we would do football drills. We would work out. We'd be like out on the front lawn or in the garage working out. So that's kind of what got me into football. And he played high school football around here, and he played a little bit of college. And he was the one that really kind of like, I didn't see a lot of him playing, but just taking the knowledge that he taught me to do better in football. I think that's really someone that I look up to when it comes to like the sport, because he is really the one that got me into football. I remember when I was in 9th grade, I didn't run the ball at all. I played nothing but defense in 9th grade. And one day, like I go over to his house and he's like, why aren't you running the ball? He's like asking me these questions that I have no answer to. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not getting the ball, whatever. And he's like, okay. So I think 30 minutes later, he gets a football and he ties a rope around it, because he thought that my thing with not running the football was because I couldn't hold on to it. It was like having trouble with fumbling. And he lived in like kind of a subdivision, and we go outside to this spot, and it's kind of a hill that goes all the way up. There's no trees though. And he ties this rope around this football, and I held it, and I'm running up this hill, and he's just snatching on it. So I think he's really been the one that I've like looked up to. I mean, sounds
like you got a great older brother.
Yeah, I could pick a million like good football players that I've kind of like looked up and seen, but I think a lot of that doesn't matter. Like I'm gonna play football how Eli plays football, and I think he's the one. if I had to pick anybody.
I know you got nicknames and from your past, but what do you think about Ennis the Menace?
I think I have only heard that nickname one time. I've been called that nickname one time.
Please tell me it was somebody legendary who called you that.
Okay, I don't know exactly who it was, but my senior year of high school football, we played, I think it was Geraldine, like the first round of the playoffs. And we ended up beating them 32-13, but it was kind of a rocky game in the beginning. Like they were up on us 13-0 up until the third quarter. And I had 5 touchdowns that game, and we beat them 32 to whatever it was. And they had put an article out like that Wednesday of that next week, and it was Ennis the Menace.
Ennis the Menace.
Yeah. So that was the first time I've heard it, and I've heard it from like other like players call me or whatever, but I think that's the first time I heard it.
And you're okay with it if I just, when I see you, I'll call you that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or they're on the sideline, you're coming off the field, make a good play, and I'll give you a fist bump and be like, that's Ennis the Menace.
100%.
Okay, I'll promote that. After health science is your major, what are your plans after football?
So I wouldn't say there's anything after football, and the reason I say that is because I do want to get into coaching and being a part of things. I went last week to a football camp that one of my friends from high school, his name's Dominique, and he plays at Ole Miss right now. I went to high school with him, and he had held a camp that I haven't been able to go to these past few years because I've been in Louisiana, and that was my first one. And he was like, this is the most people that have ever showed up at this camp. There's probably 50 kids there. And that was really fun. I mean, I've always wanted to get back into it, but being there and just how those kids look up to you.
Working with young people.
Yeah, and like how you can like start a path for them that a lot of people don't get, and just seeing it in their eyes, like I want to be a part of that and continue to be a part of it.
Well, if you never make another tackle, I can go ahead and predict a lot of success in whatever you do. But we're certainly glad that you're going to be doing it as a UAB Blazer in 2025.
Exciting.
Anything you'd like to tell the Green and Gold Nation before we leave?
I just want to say that I am so glad to be here. I mean, the coaches, everybody has taken me in and welcomed me with open arms. I'm glad to be technically home. I wouldn't say it's 100% home, but I'm so much closer to home. And being able to, like, I've had so many people back home. It's like, I'm so glad that you're this close. We get to come watch you. So I think that's exciting. I think they're a part of the Blazer Nation now, is some of the fans that I had at Ohatchee. So I'm just excited to get on the field and hopefully translate a lot of things that I did at Nichols.
Number 44 on the field, number 1 in your hearts, Blazer fans. It is Eli Ennis, the Menace.
Yep.
Coming to a stadium near you, coming to Protective this fall. This is the Inferno Podcast, the official podcast of UAB Athletics. Blazer fans, this is the place each week to get an inside look into UAB Athletics. This episode is brought to you by Pearl River Resort.